I always were interested in photography as an art form, and I'm attending a lot of photo exhibits, and I work with a lot of world famous photographers, from Richard Avedon to Irving Penn to Annie Leibovitz to the Lord Snowdon. Just
they were taking your picture.
Yes, but when you sit for with them, and see the way they work, and they are very meticulous people. Usually good photographers. They're so well organized. Their studios are so clean and pedantic. Because and I'm a bit messy person, and I learn from them a lot.
When did you start taking pictures of dancers?
Occasional and dance rehearsals I did, but I always thought that it's senseless to spend any of my time chasing a dancer around the rehearsal room, because sometimes I'm sick and tired from all this dance rehearsal rooms, but I would say 5-6 years ago, I started to sort of experiment with digital technology. And our family, we have a house in Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. And as you know, Dominican people who really, first of all, I love DR and I love Dominicans. And they are extraordinary nation, extraordinary people, and this culturally are very relax with their own, internal and external beauty. And they're natural dancers. They dance everywhere, in dance halls and in bus stations and little cafes, and I just start to photograph them with a digital, few different cameras. My biggest inspiration were famous Alexei Brodovich, who was a very art director in Harper's Bazaar, if you remember, for many years, and who was a teacher of Robert Frank and Dick Avedon and Irving Penn and many others. And he did this thing, he produced this very famous book during the Second World War called Ballet, in black and white, with the Edwin Denby's introduction, which was really an icon of every photographer who really photographs dance and sport, actually. And that's from this Dominican project called Dominican Moves came up my first series exhibit in Edwin Howe Gallery in New York a few years ago. And from that on, I got really into the mode of photographing dance.
Well, there are three ways you can photograph dance. You can capture everything in a split second by very fast shutter speeds. You can do the sort of thing you've done here, where we actually see the movement. It almost looks like futurist paintings in some cases, where we see the movement of the dancers. Or you can shoot on film.
First of all, the object, it's probably the greatest choreographer of the last century and this century, contemporary modern dance choreographer, avant-garde choreographer Merce Cunningham, who will turn next month 90. It was my really birthday present, a humble attempt to try to kind of decode his certain choreographic thoughts. And I study his work, and I've been sort of fly on the wall for many years in his rehearsal studios, and working with him as a dancer and dancing his work, and being his faithful scholar and audience. And I asked Merce if I can attend few stage rehearsals, when really I had the privilege to photograph company right before the premiere, day of the premiere, at the dress rehearsal, and sort of dance with my camera right in front of them. And I got this kind permission, and it was a very exciting time.
Now, you've worked with Balanchine, you've worked with Twyla Tharp, but you say Merce Cunningham is the greatest choreographer of the 20th century?
I would say avant-garde choreographer. Merce opened a door to centuries ahead. He's more than a choreographer. He's a philosopher of our time and the hope of our future. Is something I never met anybody more extraordinary than this man in all my life. That's for sure.